Yo, welcome to Line Podcast. Like it or not, the livest show in the O. We're ready to go. Let's check the lineup. To my right, it's OGB.
I came to get down.
Straight ahead, it's Litty Clemmy.
I love my life.
To my left, it's Oski.
Leo season, baby.
And I'm your host, Mr. Tokes. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the show, everybody.
What's this up?
The fuck is up? I was just talking about a story.
Dogs.
Behind
These motherfuckers. Bro, usually I don't got time for bullshit because I got a kid. I'm tired. But Disney dropped.
Oh, man. Hey, somebody put that fucking line in the kid.
Please.
I'm not afraid of it. But fucking Beyonce and Disney Plus, they dropped a video. It's like a short. It's not a short play. It's like a filmography almost.
Okay.
And her and Jay-Z, so everybody liked it, and I wasn't a fan of it.
You ruined it.
So they dropped it, and I was like, all right, let me give it a watch, because I don't want to be out there negative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't honestly give it a watch, so I gave it a shot, and I was like, nah, I'm out. Maybe like Disney would have put out some shit that said white is king because it's called black is king.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Disney would have been.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
What?
If Disney would have
What's
been.
going on right now,
Check
man?
it. Just check it. If Disney would have done
That's
that.
why he never said the name.
If Disney would have done white is king, they would have been canceled. The Mickey would have been hanged from the castle.
Yeah.
You say Miggy?
Nah, Mickey. He would have been hung from a castle. Goofy would have been in the cut, sleeping with like black and blues. So people were like upset that
Donald Duck would have been in charge of shit.
or they probably were calling me Goofy because I didn't like it.
Inspired or not, don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life.
Uh-oh.
Robin Sharma.
Salute.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
It's just anything to stop that terrible story.
Bro, it wasn't me, dog. All I did was just say, hey, I'm not a fan, and people were like, you're racist.
Yeah, I know.
Basically.
I know.
It's like, fuck.
All right, we got to get going. How many of y'all are working your ass off and barely making it, or not making it at all? Believe it or not, most Americans aren't aware of what I'm about to tell you, but you're not alone. So here we go.
Strap in.
Nobody, first I want to say this, nobody, and I mean nobody, should be working full-time and not making it in this country. Nobody in our society, the richest country, the richest nation in the history of the world, should feel as frightened and as anxious and as insecure as so many people do today. Income inequality in America is fucking embarrassing. The middle class is all but dead, and it's been a long time coming. Look at where America ranks in income inequality among other countries. I'll save you the time. It's not good. We're like around 50th or some shit like that.
64th.
We're 64?
Wow.
Now, some inequality is inevitable, right? If people are going to have proper incentives to be productive, to work hard, to be inventive, you know, that's the essence of capitalism, and capitalism does generate a lot of good things, no question there. But the question is not inequality. The question is, when does inequality become a problem? And how much inequality can we tolerate and still have an economy that's working for everyone and still have a democracy that's functioning? So why are we worried about the middle class? Because consumer spending is 70% of our economy. That's you and me. We get our paychecks and we funnel the money right back into the economy. Think about it like this. 50% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So you can see how important our money is to the economy. So if half of us is living our paycheck to paycheck, how good is that for the economy? It's not good, because, you know, it's not good for business owners, CEOs. It's not good for anybody. Upward mobility is what people expect, and we're not getting it for the last 30 plus years or so. So the income inequality gap keeps getting wider and wider, and it's surging in the wrong way. So that's what's going on. And Mr. Robert Wright is trying to show people for the last 30 or so years what's going on. And he's under the impression that, well, he's got a good finger on the pulse because he's been around the country, and he knows that most Americans aren't aware of this.
Yeah.
They just live their life, and I believe we're guilty of being caught in a routine every day. You just wake up, go to work, And the only real, instead of using your phone device loaded with information to read about this shit, you spend it going online and fighting with people about dumb shit.
Yeah, a lot
And
of
vice
people
versa.
do
And the
that.
people are fighting with you and they're not educating themselves. And that's how I think that we get to this point and we don't have any idea of how bad things are getting.
Because Black is King is more important.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
You get attacked from Disney Plus people instead of worrying
But that's
about.
a good distraction, like he's saying. Like
That's what I'm saying. They
yeah.
would rather argue about. They would rather argue about their feelings in Disney instead of being like, "Hey, how can I do something better for my family or people around me? Give them information
Well, they-
instead of attacking."
They piss people off and pit people against each other. Say, a skilled laborer gets pissed off because they want to raise the minimum wage of people working at McDonald's. They're like, hey, fuck, don't give them $15. Well, hey, fella, if they get that, then your shit's going up too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the NFL when they find out how much
The
that
next-
other
the
running
next
back's
check.
making.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey, wait a minute,
Yeah,
Next man up.
Exactly.
and then they get it.
But then if like Mike's saying, if we go and police people and be like, well, you don't deserve that for this job and you don't deserve that for this job,
We're keeping them down.
We're keeping each other
we're keeping
down.
our own self
Yeah,
down.
right.
Yeah.
30% of Americans said they did not have enough to eat last week.
Wow.
But check it off of that number,
Just
right?
let that marinate.
Check that
That's
off of
not
that
big.
over the 30%.
30%?
30%.
No.
So look, so
It's a brand new stat that just came out.
as much as that's problematic, right? With all the noise going around, and like you brought up an example for like McDonald's people, do you think people would leave? What percent of Americans do you think would leave their job to go work at McDonald's for like a high wage? Do you think people actually do it, or is
If
Americans
they
too
pay
much
me-
pride?
If they pay me more than I'm getting paid right now, in other words,
Yeah.
and I go to McDonald's, I'm going to McDonald's.
Okay.
No, bro.
Yeah. Why not?
It's your choice, whatever.
Dude,
See,
No,
you see
but
what I'm saying, though?
is,
That's what I'm saying.
understanding what
how
I was
much
saying.
how much more money is it?
I mean,
That matters too.
But I mean, optic.
Yeah, it is the bottom line.
But I mean, optic wise, you don't want to be the dude with the beer in the in McDonald's flipping.
That's the
burgers,
pride
bro.
thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Though.
But if you don't have no, trust me, I done it all. So I'm not saying that I wouldn't do it because I flipped burgers before. But what I'm saying is, like at a certain point and at a certain age, you look. We kind of
Is there though? That's what I'm asking.
But that doesn't matter because here's the thing: like flipping burgers are for kids in high school, college, and the retired, the elderly
Yeah.
come back and work in that
Yeah.
usually. So if you're paying them well, young kids, they're going to pay for college,
right.
generating money, putting money in the education,
But you
paying
won't-
for college, bettering everything.
But then the-
getting educated, all that.
And then the flip side of that, if you're an intelligent guy and they're paying you more at McDonald's to work than like at a job where you can be like pushing us forward as a human race, I don't want you at McDonald's to make $1 when you could have worked somewhere else.
That's kind of the thing, man. Everybody's got a cap on what they can make.
Right.
So why does it matter where it is? But unless it's a cushy job to where you're like, yo, I just like it where I'm at. I got people that look out for me. I got, there's circumstances
If
to
they was
everything.
paying $30 to work at McDonald's, I'd be at McDonald's.
But now we got levels of unemployment we haven't seen since the Great Depression with no credible recovery plan in place. So all COVID-19 proved was our economy was fragile, which Clemmy alluded to a while ago the whole time. Every problem America hasn't dealt with was magnified, including racism, especially racism. There's like 5 crises at once now.
Right.
Now you have to understand the American economy pre-coronavirus was almost, because just don't think about the coronavirus. Before
just think about your strength.
because we don't know what it is now, but the American economy before was almost twice the size as it was in 1980. Twice the size, but the median wage has gone nowhere. In fact, some wages even declined. So we have stagnating wages. Okay, that's problem number one. But then you have the rising costs everywhere. The fucking costs are going up everywhere. The rising costs of rents or homes,
Inflation.
dramatically increasing costs of healthcare, the rising costs of childcare. You can't even afford college anymore without taking a lifetime of fucking debt out, especially if it's higher education. Forget about that. So when you take all of this into consideration and you see it's much worse than just stagnating wages, it's basically middle-class families, often 2 wage earners, working harder and harder and harder and getting nowhere. So,
Hamsters in the wheel, bro.
yeah.
It killed me, dog, when like Corona was real. Like obviously it was a real thing. It was just lingering. It was like a shadow over the country, and then it finally eclipsed, and then we were like, "Oh fuck, it's here." It just ultimately made me realize and pissed me off of how much of a dollar all the Americans wanted because so much shit was outsourced.
Yeah.
And it just like at work, like that was like I'm not the person who gets mad about Mondays because I'm happy to be alive. I know it's corny, but like Mondays, I don't give a fuck about Mondays, dude. It's another day I'm working. When I brought that type of energy to work, even my boss was like, "Damn, man, like this shit's hitting you." I'm like, "Bro, it kills me to see that we need something. Like we can't." And then he's
1,000 people dying a day.
Well, I'm saying though, he's bringing up the fact like, we don't have those resources. I'm like, all right, but find a way, bring it. So you mean that we could get jobs in this country, that we could start somewhere here? Yeah, because Texas is big as fuck, homie.
That's the thing. You fund money to these big corporations, and that's what they're saying. Let's take Amazon for example. They said it's raking in $80 billion a year, and with that, they're only employing like 60,000 people. He said if that was mom and pop shops, you'd be having 600,000 people employed, 1 million people employed.
Working,
which helps
cashing checks,
more jobs, right? So that's kind of why we need to get our shit straight. Of all the developed countries in the world today, this goes back to what Mike was saying about the 64th fucking on the distribution list. The United States has the most unequal distribution of income and wealth. It's not even close. So, the deeper you get into this, the less the party labels matter, man. Right, left, it's irrelevant. So,
yeah, you broke.
Yeah,
and money is.
It's there, and it's definitely a problem and we all need to be aware of this. Like I said, they're saying that a lot of Americans don't even know this,
and that's the scary part because they put it in your face all the time. It's always something about the 1% and all of this. You hear it in the media, and you hear it passing by all the time, but I don't think people really ever stop and think about it. Like, you know what?
Well, that's the problem.
I don't think they have time.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's why when you said it's in your face, I don't think it's in your face. I think it's available to see. I think the access is there because it's not being broadcasted of homelessness or you know what I'm saying. So
well, that's just inequality. Now, everybody knows the game is rigged, but everybody doesn't know exactly how it's rigged. So, in America, we have a free market. So, but there's no such thing as a free market without the government making the rules of the free market. So what kind of rules? We're talking about rules governing property, monopoly, contracts, bankruptcy, enforcement. So for instance, take bankruptcy. If you're a business, you can declare bankruptcy over and over again to protect your assets. But if you're a student, you can't reorganize your debt in bankruptcy. Or if you're a homeowner who's underwater because the entire market just collapsed on you, you can't use bankruptcy. It's illegal. These rules don't just come out of nowhere or thin air. They reflect the interests of those who have the most power, which means the rules change over time. Mm-hmm. The term rigged is so polite. It really is. It's set up for the hamster wheel, like you alluded to keep going in circles, and it's
that, and everybody
look at it, you're like, holy shit.
Everybody gets a different starting point. Not everybody starts at level 1, level 5.
Yeah, and the real scary part about it is it's getting to the point now where if people find that you're not on your hamster wheel, they have a problem with you, and it's like
that's right.
It's
get on your hamster wheel, boy.
Get back on your hamster wheel. Like, what are you doing?
Well, and they destroyed unions too.
That's another thing.
And it's when I was a kid, I remember, my pops, he was a union, worker, and he made good money, but there was always like striking and stuff like that, and they became violent and stuff. And then as I grown up to the adult, that I am today, it's like, you run into union workers, but you don't hear in Florida generally because it's a right to work state. Right. So anyway, you hear what union wages are, and they sound ridiculous to us, but that's exactly where they need to be.
Right.
Right. Union welders making $50 an hour.
Right. Your value. Yeah.
That's kind of where it needs to be.
That's where upward mobility is.
And the company still can make a profit, bro.
Right.
They're just treating people right. It's not a lack of profit. It's the amount of sometimes it feels, and I don't know how true this is, but sometimes it almost feels like they want to see how far they can stretch us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until we either one break
Bro,
or
it is
two.
so much. I
like,
get that feeling all the time,
revoked.
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, how much can they take? They're like, shit, these motherfuckers still ain't paying attention.
Oh,
Fuck,
you
we
used car salesman, yeah.
Yeah, we sprinkle some divide on this motherfucker. They're never gonna find out the truth.
Did you ever, speaking of bankruptcy and all that, did you ever have a conversation or hear a conversation of, the reason why people would vote for Trump because he had so many businesses? Like that was a backing point.
I did hear a little bit about that.
Did
He's a businessman, so
did it ever bother you knowing how they went sometimes?
not till recently.
Wow.
Really?
At least you're honest.
No, not really, man. I mean, because I knew that anyway. He's a businessman, but I don't think that just because America's a business that we need a businessman running it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm talking about all the failing businesses.
Well,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
too.
So that was my thing. Not only him personally, I just mean the bankruptcy, how people used it and make sure to keep their money flow and they can
Right.
start over again and it's collect 200 and go, just like Monopoly.
Right.
Basically.
In 2014, corporate profits before taxes reached their highest share of the total economy in the last 85 years, in at least 85 years. Meanwhile, the percentage of the economy going to people's wages dropped dramatically. So it was the best for 85 years, our economy is just fucking soaring and our wages are going down, dude. It's fucking
It's
crazy.
by design. It's the algorithm they're using, bro.
But hidden inside the rules of the market, money flows upwards out of the pockets of average Americans and into the profits of major industries, executives, and shareholders. Now, this is important. So as income and wealth go to the top, so does political power. And here's where it gets interesting. Because as political power goes to the top has more and more ability to influence those rules of the game. So basically, what we have is a huge system now of corporate welfare. Aid for dependent corporations, subsidies and tax breaks that have no economic justification at all. They're there because individual corporations or specific industries lobby to get them. It's in our tax code. It's in appropriation bills. It's in our trade laws. Wherever you look, you find corporate welfare. So all subsidies do is leave average people like you and me picking up the tab.
Conservatives were like staunchly against welfare.
Dude, this is
It's a different welfare, though.
Yeah, you the further you get
a
into
different
this,
It's
tax
a
man,
different tax bracket.
Yeah.
So they get more money, so then it's less egregious that they get welfare.
yeah, I guess you can see
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah. I
Think
mean,
about their logic, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but that's the disinformation. That goes back to what you were saying,
Right.
With the disinformation campaign,
Right.
They make us feel like, okay, if O gets welfare, O is a bad person.
Right.
But if Kmart, I can't use Kmart anymore because they ran out of welfare money.
Target.
Target. That's Target. So, but if Target gets welfare, then Target's okay because
They're good
Target is and then what strikes me as crazy is
Target's
like
essential.
they're essential.
Target's for
and
white people.
And no, I didn't say that because I go to Target. But then they always say the corporations, they're going to get the money and they're going to make sure all the people get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time a corporation get a subsidy, why is it ironic that they cut payroll?
right.
So then if they cut payroll and then they get money at the same time, then why are we giving them
Because
subsidy?
we're not giving them shit. They're making the rules of the game, man. That's
No, but they are we are
Nah, but it's going to the heads. That's why.
right,
Yeah,
but
to the
in
top.
essence we are giving it to them because it's our
Are we giving it or are they taking it?
Take
Government's giving it to them.
The top 5 oil companies. This is when I say that we're picking up the tab. This is what I mean. Subsidies to major corporations. The top 5 oil companies receive a combined $4 billion in tax breaks each year. The net income, $50 billion a year. Google receives
Taxes.
$632 million in government subsidies to build data centers.
and they got tax breaks.
Net income, $16 billion a year. And the United States Department of Agriculture spends $20 billion a year every year on subsidies that go mostly to the largest producers.
And then and like if you think about it, like even if you think about it from a sports aspect, most times owners own stadiums, right?
Right.
But then it takes tax dollars to build the stadiums. Then they turn around and charge us astronomical prices
Right.
to go back in.
It's like, yo, you want to see y'all want to see where your taxes built? Pay 150 to get.
See, your lottery money's going.
So of the subsidies I just listed, it's costing taxpayers tens of billions of dollars every single year. Some estimates put it over $100 billion a year on all the subsidies we give up, dude. I mean, we are missing out on money, dude. I'm talking about real fucking money.
$100 billion, bro.
That's why this is such a big deal, man. You can fund the entire Department of Education with that money, and still have $25 billion left over.
Do you think this is just like a sidebar? Do you think where I'm living at, right, all the way by the Berry, does my taxes go to Orlando stadiums and shit? Because I'm thinking about that shit will piss me off, dog. Like, I'm not even buying
That's
it.
That's the thing either, man.
Put my shit on the sidewalk. Put it on the potholes.
You know, it would be awesome if we like had this like and not only that, but we'd feel more together if we had this like
option?
You know, this oversight on government where our money
We do
goes.
have oversight, but nothing.
We have a seat, but we're not allowed to talk.
No, but what I'm saying is, so we have more oversight on how much is accumulated, all tax dollars, where we're putting the tax dollars at, where it's going, everything. That would feel better, because then we'd be like, oh shit. Then it would help us vote too. We could say, okay, well that's not working. Okay, maybe we have to put our money there. But that just kind of shows that it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
That's why I was saying you get to vote. Like, you know how you go to Publix sometimes, and it's like, do you want to give $2 to St. Jude? It'd be like on your taxes when you're filing them. It's like, hey, do you want to put money towards, or have you put money towards this? It's like, give me the option, like towards your school vicinity or your school district.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The sidewalk. Don't just fucking take it and be like, we know what we're doing with it. Trust us.
Right.
We got this.
But it's all a hustle because the senators become lobbyists. So like every part, every turn, every avenue, they got it covered. Yeah. It's kind of what you said, like, well, you know, I don't know how we're gonna change this.
It's like okay, if all four of us sitting in a room and we're making the rules, and as we're making the rules, people that want us to make sure the rules fall in their favor come and stack $1 million in your face and just sit in front of you.
Yeah. Don't change that rule.
Don't change that rule. Here you go.
Or speak of how it can benefit someone.
Think about it. If it's because we all are self-motivated. I got my $1 million. I can give a care if you okay, or you okay. Because I got my $1 million.
Right.
Well, they need to do a real, redistribution of wealth in this country, and like instead of getting a $1,200 stimulus check, I'm talking, why don't they give out $100,000?
Yeah,
saying
they were
some
talking
real
about
money.
that. They were talking about that actually.
I mean, big money to every American.
It stimulate the economy.
And, dude, it would stimulate it like a motherfucker.
It would.
But it would set a whole new level standard of quality of life for everybody.
And then on the flip side is that if they were to do
especially
that,
now,
then nobody could say, "Well, I never got a chance."
That's the evil playing field that I was talking about. Yeah. Everybody gets to start from zero. Yeah. Everybody gets a flat rate and go. You got to start.
Yeah, because
give me a 760 credit score
and let me ride out.
Let me get that.
Let me get a nice fucking car to get to work.
But it's hard when these lobbyists get paid $3.15 billion in 1 year. 1 year.
The lobbyists get paid that much,
bro.
It's hard living.
It's called crony capitalism, man. The big folks get together, no matter what industry and project, they're to protect their turf at the expense of the small guy. Mm-hmm. The government's job is to make sure that doesn't happen. Instead, government's job has turned into they make that happen. And it's business is business, but this isn't business, man. Like I said, right, left, it's irrelevant, dude. When you get down this far and you see that they're fixing the shit, it's truly fucked up, man.
Crony capitalism is some bullshit.
Yeah, and for a bunch of people that are so proud of our country, man, we rep this country like no other country reps their country. We do, man. We all do.
Those be the main people mad at people stepping off their hamster wheel.
Yeah, no shit.
Son, American to be off your hamster wheel. It's like, hold up, bro. Like, that's what we
Like,
built on.
I'm tired of this wheel.
Yeah, for too long, it's just
No, because they want you to shut up and take it. Like, they take it.
Well, Mike said it right, dude. Pretending like we're balling out on Snapchat and Instagram and being in competition with other people that are also broke and pretending they got money.
Yeah.
It's probably like the
That's
Family
that's-
Feud worst thing we could do.
Yeah.
being
Because
American lately is being, meant being in an obnoxious piece of shit. Just
being
Love it, Mike.
America
Exactly.
is a third world country with a Gucci belt on right now.
Exactly, Corey. This is beautiful. But
I'd
it's the
say
truth.
at least Gucci sandals to go around.
but you're still staying at your mama's house.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Make Soup Kitchen is great again.
Got these
Damn.
though. I got these though.
No, but it's for real, bro. It's like we are all coming to the realization that we are fighting over nothing. Because
Yes.
what we like, Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, These Lives Matter, somebody say Dog Lives Matter. Hey, all of that is just ploys to keep us away
Fighting.
from the truth of the
Educating
matter
ourselves.
is that we are all being taken up to advantage of. We're
Amen, brother.
all of our rights are being eroded, and then it's just the basis of like what America we're gonna have when it's all is said and done. Like,
Right.
think about it. If they take enough rights and they erode enough freedoms, and that's for everybody in this room and everybody across the nation, why you thinking it's you getting more a proper chance because you're white? That's not true anymore.
Right.
That has nothing to do with money. That has everything to do with money. Has nothing to do with our color. Has nothing to do with our race.
Right.
It also has to do with our economics.
Our
and
class.
That's what America is. It's economically based right now. And unfortunately, the more people that don't pay attention to that fact, the 1%
They're getting left
get
behind.
bigger.
Yeah, and we're getting left behind.
And they don't care, bro. What do they care?
I don't think they don't care. I think they don't know, man. That's why we're doing this segment, dude, because we're making people aware.
No, I'm saying
he's saying the
1%,
big heads don't care.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
why
they
do
don't
we care?
well,
Like-
there's some that do, man, because they realize without a middle class, well, this economy does
But-
no good for the bigger money
But
people. man.
self-preservation,
They need-
bro.
because we buy their shit, dude.
But
So-
still,
Huh?
self-preservation.
To say, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, self-preservation. It's like if you, 100 billion sound a whole lot better than 100 million. I don't care how you chop that shit up.
right.
To slightly disagree with you, Corey, I would say, because if they cared, and I'm not saying there isn't someone out there that does,
Right.
but from Mike's age group to your age group,
Yeah, they wouldn't be
to
cutting
mine,
the checks like that. Right.
Well, not only that, where has the change gone?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
right.
they had, you
know
literally
what I-
have
you know
three
what I
different
think?
generations sitting in this room, and you still got the same result.
was-
It's
well,
probably hard. It's
I don't-
probably hard.
It's funny you mentioned like the economy, and I just remember like my parents' generation, my aunts and uncles, and even my grandparents. It's my uncle. He worked at a steel mill, dude, and he retired at age 55.
Right.
Bro, he was able to retire at 50.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful life.
He was paid well to work at that fucking steel mill.
Yeah. It was beautiful, man.
And
It's-
it was just like a time where
yeah.
they paid good money.
I think we got to a point, honestly, where like when we're talking about the people that care and don't care, I think we got to a point where like all the CEOs and richest people in America looked at other countries and they saw like communist countries robbing the fuck out of their people, and
Yeah,
they got
that's
more
what-
money.
but that's
They got
where
more
I'm
money, so
coming
they
from.
go, holy shit!
Look
Why
at-
do they got more money than I do?
Yeah.
Fuck that. We got to make this more, and they kept stretching it and stretching it and
That's what
stretching
I'm
it.
We
So
can
they-
get at least 73% more out of these motherfuckers than
Yeah.
Listen, this new-
73% of what they're getting because we got to stay democracy.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like this new yacht. That's what I need.
this new yacht.
I need
might
the,
not-
I need the 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
man.
right.
It's true, man. But I know this though. I cringe every time I see a campaign asking for donations right now. It's like, seriously, dude. Record unemployment, home evictions looming, small businesses fucking crumbling everywhere. The audacity to ask for money right now while they're vacationing and fucking, while we're financially suffocating. It's fucking,
But
gross.
If they make it seem like it's business as usual, like to some poor sap, it is business as usual. You know what I mean? And the truth be told, Corey, I think that a lot of people don't want to change, bro.
You know how I know we're fucked? because I've seen Jeopardy before. And there's smart motherfuckers that win that show, and we ain't got none of them in the office. We'll be back. Yeah. Welcome back, Lions. Lion Podcast.
Hey, please subscribe. Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. Clemmy will do sexual favors.
You might like
real quick. I want to go over something real quick before we move on to the next thing. Researchers at Princeton and Northwestern University wanted to find out how much political power ordinary citizens have. They examined a 20-year period from 1982 to 2002. They first discovered that if large corporations and wealthy individuals, regardless of political party, want a law passed, there's a nearly 60% chance it gets passed. And if they don't want a certain law, it doesn't pass. Then they looked at everyday voters, and issues that almost no one supports have a 30% chance. And issues that almost everyone supports also have a 30% chance of becoming law. So, yeah.
If the voters, I'll say if 100% of the voters were on board for something to become a law, it only has a 30% chance.
have a 30% chance.
They concluded in their own words, the preferences of the average American, you and I, appear to only have a minuscule, near zero, statistically non-significant impact upon public policy.
Good luck.
So if the politicians wanted to pass, it's a 70%.
Hey, that's trust me, man. It's near 60. It's near 60. But you know, the thing you need to worry about is
no. I'm just saying the divide in that number. That's a lot, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's
that's
rigged.
Clear power.
That just shows you how rigged it is. You know, to me, that means we don't fucking matter as of right now. You know, remember that all lives matter stuff we're trying to convince each other of.
Yeah.
We might be the wrong ones convincing each other of that shit. We might need to convince the higher ups that we matter, man. Real shit, man. But anyway, Breonna Taylor. We need to talk about this. Story by Vice News. News, video, and documents raise troubling questions about Breonna Taylor's death and the LMPD. It's been 4 months since Breonna Taylor was killed by police, and nobody has been happy with the lack of urgency in her case. A protest took place where they marched to the Attorney General's home, Daniel Cameron. After a while, all 87 people were arrested one by one. Still, nobody even knows what or why this tragedy even unfolded, as little to no details have been released to the public. So, however, Breonna's neighbor got footage of Kenneth Walker getting arrested. Okay, no big deal, right? Except there was only 3 cops identified in initial reports. The video shows at least 24 cops outside the residence, approximately 12 in uniform. LMPD policy, every cop in uniform required to wear body cams. But it's not just that police officers were there afterwards. There were at least 4 more officers present during the raid, according to Mattingly's testimony, one of the cops that fired shots. So we'll go to cut 1.
I scooted back, and I think at that time Miles slid up. I know Tony was behind me. Mike was to the right of the door at the Ram. It was Brett, Hoover, and Campbell had come up around the corner at that point by the stairs.
So far, LMPD hasn't acknowledged whether or not any of those officers were wearing body cams. He barely even acknowledged that they were there. You know, so also Mattingly alleges that he and the other officers announced themselves prior to entry, but so far nobody has corroborated that. And the next door neighbor said she never heard them announce themselves, otherwise she wouldn't have called the cops. So, because she was right there. So, add to that.
So the neighbor called the cops because she just sounded like somebody just opened the door.
Break in or something, yeah.
And went to blasting on them.
Yeah. She heard shots and she was like, holy shit. It was her and her mom. And her mom was like, hit the ground. You know, I got to call the fucking cops. So she had babies in there and stuff. They got the 911 call, but I didn't figure that was necessary. All she did was say, you know, there's shots, you know, so-and-so. Add to that, the cops aren't taking witness accounts for records. So at least a half a dozen neighbors also said they've never been questioned by AG or LMPD. The president of City Council, David James, is a former LMPD officer. In a letter to the mayor, David writes, The trust between Louisville Metro and the people we serve is eroding at a pace that may soon pass the point of restoration. When asked, David said LMPD is not capable of holding themselves accountable. He used the example of the LMPD officer accused of molesting kids and denied all allegations just to find out that he was guilty the whole time. Now he's locked up. David says that they can't be accountable because there is no leadership at LMPD, particularly. All 3 cops that fired shots during the night Breonna was killed have been subject to previous internal investigations. Brent Hankinson, for one, had multiple sexual assault allegations, at least 3 internal criminal investigations, and use of force file that's 104 pages long. Hold my beer, Mr. 230 felony guy.
Wow.
Holy shit, man.
He was a cop and he had 130.
Oh, get this.
incidents?
Get this. Same dude in 2012 was elected to serve on the Police Merit Board, which helps make decisions about police misconduct.
Wow.
That's even as dumb as Epstein running a child care.
Bro, you're not, bruh.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, if I would do this, how would I serve myself?
I'm asking a question for myself.
How do you feel about beating people, Omar? How would you get out? All right, good.
He said, OJ, if I did it,
Yeah.
this is how I would do it.
This is how I would like.
And if I got to get away with it, this is how I got to get away with it.
Would I wear a glove before wearing a glove?
Vice News spoke to several former LMPD officers who said the department regularly covers up bad behavior. One of them, Richard Gibbs, has worked for 6 police departments in his career and said nothing came close to the unchecked misconduct he witnessed while in LMPD. Cut to.
I don't even feel good like I used to feel about being a police officer.
Did you witness police abusing their power on the force?
Yes, I have. And the biggest one is use of force, putting your hands on somebody when you don't have to. I've even seen situations where I went to do a narcotic search and the guy's telling me that is not mine. They put that there. Little bag of dope, some crack.
Do you believe that person?
Yes, I do, because there is situations where that's done.
But that's a crazy thing you just said. You just said that you're a former police officer, that is something that's done.
Yes, dropping dope. They call it dropping dope.
Who's they?
Police officers. Teabagging is when you squat over a person's face and either put your genitals close or on them. And this particular lieutenant did this, and it was a joke. It was a laughing joke throughout the department. And nothing was really done to him, taking someone's dignity, squatting in their face.
This is to someone who was arrested, like in handcuffs on the floor or detained?
Yes, this is someone who's arrested.
And what were the other officers doing?
Just like with Floyd, standing around looking.
Why do you think more officers, current officers, are not speaking out?
They're scared. They're scared, and they've been brainwashed to think that you just don't do that. I never felt comfortable or even at ease of going to like the chief and say, hey, chief, there's some racism or some unfairness going on. Look into it. No.
Did you witness retaliation in the department?
I was pulled into an internal affairs investigation where an officer used excessive force. When I told the truth, the colonel kept asking me, is that the truth? Like, is there another scenario that you want to give? And I picked up on it right away that she was trying to get me to change my story. Well, this guy that was, alleged to do this got promoted. And that's what I've seen the police department do. When these people do things that are against policy, they're promoted.
What happened to you after you tried to tell what happened?
Just basically ostracized. For instance, if I wanted to try to get on another special unit, the door was shut. Blackballed.
Do you think that Breonna Taylor's case is an isolated example?
No, it's not isolated. If you dig in LMPD's history, they got a long history of shooting people. This
fucking guy's the GOAT.
Has buried a lot of bodies.
Somebody better check on him.
Skeletons. A lot of skeletons.
Vice News also had a brief sit down with the mayor. The mayor says that he was frustrated because there was no body cam footage, 7 officers upon entry, and none of which were wearing body cams. For the record, the mayor wasn't even aware of the other 4 officers that were there, just the 3 that were initially reported. So far, the only people the attorney general has pressed charges against were the 87 who sat on his lawn, all charged with a felony. So,
Wow.
112 bad apples. If 100 are good and nobody says nothing about the 12 bad ones, then the 112 bad apple theory sounds pretty fucking accurate.
That's it. I got a shitty but simplifying idea. When cops go rogue and shit needs to be solved, I want a website with an update of what's going on, just like a fucking Domino's pizza.
I think they got that, right? You could there's a badge, it's a badge number
but
thing.
But they have it.
Nah, bro. You know when it says order is being prepped, order is baking, order in the oven, order being
86,
delivered.
this motherfucker.
I want this. I want it to say being investigated. Details including.
Fuck the kid.
Here it comes.
Right.
Current update. And if it's still stuck on motherfucking baking for a month, somebody's not doing their job. That means my pizza's not getting delivered.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, that's fucking crazy, man. I mean, he's just telling you that LMPD is a bad fucking spot, dude.
So basically, they're not going to prosecute him.
Dude, I mean, they're covering this motherfucker.
I think that's what I was saying last week. Didn't I say that last week or 2 weeks ago? I was like, that they're just hoping that it just slides in there.
You did say that.
Hey, it's going to go away. Give it time.
Need some federal intervention.
Dude, and they were trying to...
That part.
Yeah.
If you want to win the election, do some federal intervention.
The video
be smart,
showing Kenneth Walker getting arrested, though. The neighbor shot that video because these apartments are so close together. I mean, they're like...
Yeah, right.
You know, she walks out her door, and that's the door right there, and then the stairs go down. You know, that kind of deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, hotel.
So she had her video on, and it was showing the arrest outside, and it was like fucking cops all the way down the street and shit. And you're like, what? Like, what the hell is this going on? And so they had Kenneth Walker, and you can't see him, but they're trying to tell him to walk down the stairs with their back to him, you know, like this, walking backwards down the stairs. You could see them, like, they're ready to shoot this motherfucker, dude.
So if he turned his back, do you think they were going to...
Dude, I thought you're going to shoot him, and I already know he lived through the movie. You know what I mean? Like just watching that shit, I was like, holy shit. Like, oh, man, you know? Dude, I could only imagine.
Yeah.
I could only imagine what that's fucking like, dude. Bro. I could only imagine. I just think that it's a damn shame that we can't, you know, get justice for something where officers showed up. These people were guilty of no crime, and they end up, well, from the witness reports, they didn't even announce themselves. They knocked down the fucking door, and whatever happens after that, you're guilty.
Yeah,
you're the guilty party.
But they were guilty.
You're at the wrong place.
Those people were guilty for being poor in America, bro.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, but that's
not right. Because they're not busting in, bro. They don't be busting in where you live at. They ain't just busting in on those.
So what's your best guess? Do you think that it was a hit?
I don't think it was a hit. I think it was just...
The announcing ourselves makes it sound weird. And then they even said there was another thing that they said. They heard the fucking knock. They yelled. They both got out of bed and said, "Who is it?" many times, and they didn't say shit. They just knocked the fucking... He said the door came off the hinges. He said, I got off one shot. I didn't know who it was, is what he said. I didn't know who it was. I got off one shot, and they just blah, 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 blah. Everybody's getting torn up, dude. Holy shit. Can you imagine? I get startled when I get woke up in the middle of the night. Like, it doesn't even have to be shit.
So he's saying that they were trying to, and nobody never announced themselves. And they just bust through the door.
And I believe that, because why would the lady next door call the cops if she knew that it was all cops?
Because they would say, if cops, you know.
But the body cam thing, I think that's legit, because they said you're only supposed to have it on when you have your uniform on. Well, the neighbor also said nobody was in uniform. She said that now there was, after the footage was out, you could see all the cops in the streets. There was several cops out there in uniform.
So all the cops that went in,
but everybody for the raid were in plain clothes, non-labeled cars, and unmarked cars and all that shit.
I mean, Like, but what if you saying that? Do you think it was a hit? But for what?
I don't think it was a hit. I think it was just corrupt police policy in full effect, full practice,
Yeah.
just like business as usual for them. Unregulated, they could, and they're just so.
So you think it was a legit accident, and then they were like, "Fuck it, just cover it up like we always do."
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. You talking about ownership? Yeah, no, nobody's gonna have that.
You never know, man. Kenneth
And now
Walker
they're being
could
called
owe
on it,
somebody
though.
money or something.
No,
and
no,
they
no.
said, "Fuck it."
But
I mean
it's-
from the police department. Ownership. That's not likely.
Yeah.
It's more likely what we're going through now as a country with them trying to hide it than a sorry we fucked up and we're gonna fire them and this is our bad. You won't get that.
It looks like we're just looking at accountability on all levels of America's
America.
society right now. It's
Yeah,
just like, hey,
that's the
leadership,
thing.
yeah,
That's
leadership
the
is not
bag that
accountable.
America's in right now. America's bag is all right. Yeah, whose fault is it besides ours? What are we gonna do?
every time,
Yeah, who
Yeah.
can we blame besides
every
us?
time. And where we
And
who
then
signs
now
the
they're
check?
doing it so blatant in our face that we're even get desensitized to that, and that's the real scary part.
But is there a level of desensitized where you realize that it's so much? This is my question, and you go, "Wait a minute, what the fuck?" And then you kind of like unfuck your mind, and you say, "Wait the fuck a minute."
I mean-
it's like a girl that's been beaten so long in a relationship, and then one day she wakes up and says, "I'm not having this shit no more. I'm out."
Yeah.
Huh?
enough.
Enough.
But it's people say that. I mean, it's
J-Lo?
people, but it's people that are saying that. Like, it's so many theories. Like, one theory that I heard was the area they're in. They're trying to re-gentrify that area, so they're trying to. The police are basically going in there and they just like making it so hard for people to live in that area. So then people just move out, and then the developers come in and buy the land pennies on the dollar and rebuild the area, and everybody like, "Oh yeah, it's re-gentrified." But to move those people out of there, a lot of
Something's
times
got to
it's not-
happen.
Like, if you somewhere you got $600 for rent and you living nice, because out of that $600 you can work a regular, like a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
You and your partner, and if like in her situation, she was an EMT, so she's making decent money. If he got a regular job, like a delivery guy, they kind of sweet.
Yeah, and I'm kind of leaning towards Mike too, that it might be an accident, because why wouldn't you kill
That's
Kenneth
why
too?
I wouldn't call it an accident.
Well, I'm saying though, why wouldn't you kill the guy too? You have an option
But
to
he
kill him.
ducked.
He ducked, but you still
it just
took him
didn't
out.
work out.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the initial
It
target.
wasn't his time. It wasn't his time to go. And sometimes
It wasn't her time to go.
bro, I'm not saying that.
No, he's saying how it ended. It
How
wasn't
it
his
is.
time.
Right.
Because if it was his time, bro, he had probably 200-300 reasons not to be here right now,
Right.
and he didn't even get grazed.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it wasn't like, I'm sorry for Breonna, and shout out to her, but bro, the sad part about this is like, it's almost all this time later, and it's turning into so much. It's done turned political. It's because it's not about that. It's about one thing. They went in these people's house and they shot in these people's house without warning.
Violation.
And if that can happen in their house, it can happen in everybody sitting at this table.
It's only a matter of
house.
time before it grows. It will.
Because it's like, what people don't understand is, at first it's just a black problem. Oh, the neighborhood they were in, or this was this, and maybe her boyfriend was a drug dealer,
Coincidence.
and this, and like,
Well-
none of that matters. Because even if he was selling, and excuse me, if he was selling keys out of there, they don't have the right to go in there and just shoot up the place. What if they had kids in there, bro?
Right.
What about the babies?
Right.
And y'all are just shooting up people. So if they can do it in that person's house, they can do it in anybody's house. So that is the real issue. It's sad that it happens to us first, or it happens to a certain segment. But I think that's in every government and everywhere across the world. If you're perceived to be in a lower class or in a lower part of the population, all the bad shit happened to you.
It's really fucked up what they did to her mother, man. Sent her to the hospital thinking that Breonna
Yeah,
was
she
on
had
her
a
way to the
chance.
hospital. Yeah.
And it happened
And then
to
she
you
was
first.
waiting at the hospital. And then she finally finds out her daughter's not even there. So she has to go back to the scene. Her daughter's still there. And then when they told him she's inside, she knew right there, my daughter's dead. and that's how she found out.
So they knew that lady's daughter was dead, and they still sent her to the.
Yep.
So they could get shit right, so they get their story right, or whatever it is. I mean, they're still not
That's what
releasing
I'm saying.
anything.
That's why it feels weird.
Yeah.
It throws me off. I get, what kind of vibe I get? I get like a old school witchcraft vibe. Like people point fingers, and then when you say like, "No, I'm not a witch," it's like, you see, they're defensive. They're defensive, right. And it's like, look what they're doing. It's like, what are you talking, bro? You're putting me in a bad light. Like right. I shouldn't have to accept that. And that's what's going on now. It's like you have certain police officers pointing the fingers. It's like, yo, why you getting nervous? It's like, bitch, because you're pointing a gun at me.
Yeah. Right. You know what worries me more than like anything is like what we said about like we're looking at accountability on all levels. Where it's like, what people are really thinking in terms of right and wrong anymore?
People don't.
Is this what it's become? Like y'all are gonna make me go to church? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, from a church aspect, do you think that Breonna was, is one of God's martyrs to awaken the rest of us?
I can see that. I can see how in that situation, because like now we're all thinking about even if change doesn't happen in that situation for her, they don't change the laws. They are changing the no-knock laws and stuff like that. So that's a positive. But then that's all of us are thinking about police and their interaction with everybody, because it happens to every race, and it's not okay for us to be in a society where we create all this wealth. We create all these like everybody lives a nice life, even though sometimes it can be shitty. But we overall live nice lives in America, and then we create all this greatness, and everybody in this room is a part of creating that greatness. But then we can't count on our government. The first part of the government that touches us is the police department.
Right.
That's the extent of most of our interaction with our government. So if the interaction that we're having with our government is this violent, imagine how
much worse it gets if you climb up the tree.
Exactly.
I ever told you guys that when a cop drew his weapon on me?
No.
I was driving for Gibson's Truck World in Sanford. Brad hooked me up with a job, and I was going to pick up a truck. I had to do a swap. So I drove far as fuck. It was like a nice 2.5 hours away. It was far as fuck. It was like one of those early rides.
Did Brad fuck you?
No.
Did he send you on a trip you didn't know you were going on?
It was the head boss. It was a nice truck too. It was one of those like Texas leather Jones. Like it's like one of those upgrade leathers that I was going to get.
Ranch. Oh, you got the King Ranch with the heated
fucking
seats.
King Ranch, bro. That was the first time I saw that, and I called Brad. I was like, "Yo, Brad,
what is this velvet,
dude? You're not lying, bro. I saw this bitch, and I was like, this is what's in trucks."
Nice. Yeah.
I was like, your boy's from Brooklyn, but I need a truck. I'm throwing my fucking Air Force Ones in the back just to
live in that motherfucker.
Oh my god, a cowboy hat for that ride.
And I felt like I you know what I'm saying? And you see me in there, but I went, picked it up. So it's one of those gas stations that when you could like go in, you put in the gas, you could jump right back on. It's in the middle of the interstate.
Yeah.
It's like right in the middle.
Okay, Service Plaza.
Service Plaza.
Exactly. So I passed it by accident because I didn't know which side it was, because I was picking up the truck, so it was my first time.
It tricked you.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck. So I try to go around, and it said do not enter. So I was like, fuck. So there was a AAA guy in front of me, and he was talking to the cop. So I was like, I waited. I was like, yo, can you get the fuck out the way? Nah, to the AAA guy.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not rude like that. I would never. So he's just talking to the cop, but he's like in the middle of the road. I was like, yo, can you get the fuck out the way? Yeah. Like, I'm talking about, I waited minutes, dude. I was like, all right, he's not going to move. I had a big ass truck, so I was nervous. I didn't want to fuck it up. So he was like, relax. I'm just talking. I was like, I get it. I was like, I'm working. I was like, I got somewhere to go.
This is a safety issue back here.
So he parks. So he goes heads and park. So I pull the truck up to try and do like a 3-point turn. So the cop's like, you can't pass that. And I was like, I didn't pass it. It said do not enter. He's like, you can't pass that. Pull over. I was like, what? He's like, pull over. I was like, all right. So I back up. I pull over. Bro, I go to get out because I had to go get gas. So I was going to put money on the pump and then just whip it, come around. So he fucking draws his weapon on me because I was walking.
You jumped out real quick?
No, I didn't jump out real quick. I walked to go put the money, and he wanted to stop me and like have a conversation.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't got.
So you weren't even a threat. He just thought you were getting away.
Well, I think he was pissed off because I was talking to the guy and I ruined his conversation time, and he wanted to show me how big his dick was.
Oh my god!
So he said, pull over. I was like, all right, cool. Like I pull over. You know, I didn't think nothing of it. I was thinking of pulling over anyway.
Right.
That was my intention. So I go. He's like, stop. I was like, why? He's like, stop right now. I'm like, why? He's like, give me your license. Pulls his weapon out. I was like, all right, bro. I was like, you're crazy.
Pointed it at you
Bro, he drew his weapon, dog. So I was like,
Was he
all right.
pointing it at you too?
Yeah, without a
Jesus
doubt.
Christ,
Bro, so I give him my license, and when he has his gun out, I was like, I gotta go pay for this. You know, and I wasn't thinking nothing of it. Like if I had the vibe of like he's crazy, which obviously he was at the time,
Right.
I'd have been like, whoa, I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, yo, you're a dick and you're pointing your gun at me, and I'm not, my voice isn't like higher than yours. I'm not trying to show off. I'm just like, yo, I'm trying to work and like I gotta go. But dude pulled out the weapon and like I'm giving him the license. He's trying to stop me. I'm telling the guy inside the store, I'm like, yo, you got cameras here, right? Like in case something happens. He's like, yeah, we're good, because he saw what was happening. I was like, all right, cool. So I gave it to him. I was like, bro, I'm not doing nothing illegal. It's like, I gave you my license. I'm like, run it. I was like, this is a rental truck. This isn't my thing. I was like, I'm working. But yeah, man, true story. It's fucking wild. And that's when I should have known one of the times that like a cop was trying to show me his ego. Right? Yeah, ego trip. But yeah, man, that shit was crazy. And I remember I had to go back because he gave me a ticket for passing it. Meanwhile, I never did. And I remember I had to drive all the way back like 2 hours because that's where the court was. Dude, I remember that shit vivid. Like, it was fucking annoying.
Man.
I saw the cop, bro. He was shitting bricks when I showed up to the courtroom. He had like his paperwork. He was like, yeah, Your Honor, this day and he decided to talk like this. And I was like,
what did the judge say?
I got called guilty.
Really?
Yeah, they called me guilty.
Really?
Yeah, they shitted on me, dog. I called my dad. I was pissed. He was like, yo, I'm sorry, man. That's how the system works sometimes. He's like, yo, I'm so sorry. He's like, you don't win them all. Because, like, this is how I pictured it in my head, and it made sense to me, and I felt like I was in the right. There's a red light. You either go through or you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, when it's the do not enter and you're going the wrong way for the gas, I didn't pass it. But it's his word against mine.
Right.
So he wrote the ticket.
lose,
I had to come back. I had to bite the bullet, and I paid for it. But bro, I'm talking about, like, I remember laughing inside the courtroom, inside my soul, like by myself, laughing. I was like, "Yo, this guy's such a bitch, bro," because he's like nervous and he's talking.
Because
and
he
I was
knew.
like,
Because he knew. Did you wrong? He knew because,
and he probably think I wasn't going to show.
And I bet at that time because look, man, even if we train cops and do everything we got to do to set them up for success perfectly, we still got to treat them so nice to make sure that those bad attitude days don't happen.
We gotta placate them.
Yeah, we gotta fluff them and stuff.
You got to.
We gotta keep them happy. We gotta keep balls because it's a thankless job. So even if they have the proper mentality and they're trained how to de-escalate situation and they're constantly, they got jiu-jitsu and all these things, they still gotta feel good.
and they're still human.
Well, yeah, man. Shit, dude. If a cop knew martial arts, dude, you know how many fucking things he could resolve without using a taser or something like that, dude. I mean, he could put you in a compromising position in 2 seconds if you're close to him, and then
but a good old chokehold is better and faster.
Yeah, but then you add the element of confidence and stuff. But still, you're gonna have the guy that has a boil in the middle of his ass, and he's just feeling and he's mad that day because or whatever it
sat
is.
On it.
Yeah, so we got to make sure that we keep that in mind too.
What if the goal is not to like subdue somebody in a orderly fashion? What if you want people to see you
What if you dealt with what I dealt with that day?
You want people to see.
You hope
I will fuck
your ninja skills.
Yeah, you want people to see.
Oh, you want people to
But that also comes with the training too, man. Because when you're extensively trained, a lot of those martial artists, they don't think like that. They don't care.
Yeah, they won't fuck somebody up at a bar.
They wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah.
But they ain't going out looking for it.
Yeah, because they know what they can do to the average Joe.
Exactly, and they're worried about that. I don't want to fuck this guy up and have him fucking with a broken arm forever.
Bro, especially if you have you don't even need a black belt. If you're at least decent, like say your 10 is a black belt,
you're good.
Say you're like a 6 or a 5,
you're
wearing jorts that day,
trained.
and you could fucking roundhouse kick someone in the face.
Yeah.
Bro, good night to that buddy.
Yeah.
Trained versus untrained. Trained is gonna win.
Yeah,
Bro.
train.
like 99% of the time.
Every
Come on,
time.
man. Especially if they're drunk out of your ass and you're like, I'll be here too. It's like, what? I'll fucking elbow you to the throat.
Yeah, because then there would be a sense of them feeling appreciated, and
Yeah.
it would be cool, man. And that's just one step of many we have to take to get shit right.
And it's sad. It's sad because they on our side we seeing the bad optics, and on their side they're getting bad training.
Right.
So it's
if
like
I'm a cop and I do a day and
sad.
I help like 3 people in that day and I'm fucking doing my job, and then I see somebody do one fucked up thing and I turn my
you got
head
this-
because I don't want to lose my job and I don't want to deal with it. Man,
But
that's a tough spot to
and
be
that's
in,
not
dude.
the law. Because if somebody doing something fucked up, they need to be dealt with because that's the law in that
Right.
way. You know what I'm saying?
Accountability.
I'm not saying if you see them doing it, I mean that's possession.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
At that
but you
point,
heard
it's
that.
in the
You
law.
heard that guy in some of these departments, like LMPD, dude. They're just dropping dope on the scene and doing all kinds of fucked up shit.
for a long
But
time,
that shit's
bro. That's,
got to stop, man.
Right.
That shit.
That's been like since
like everything else. That
70s
shit's got to
and
stop.
80s, bro. That's
But it
like
doesn't
nothing
matter.
new.
I don't
Yeah.
want to hear time.
Just remove the bad apple, please.
Right. I don't want to hear time.
That's all.
Time is an excuse. You know, if you say
No,
it's
but
been
that's
going
what
on
I'm
forever,
saying. Is I'm not giving credence to that. I'm just saying
accountability and excuses do not mix like two dicks.
Yep.
Yeah, that's-
Big fact.
Bottom line, bro.
Yeah, if you're if you're snitching in this situation, you
Not saying I'm against gay people.
You could say.
Let me make that
No. Dumbass, I wasn't even thinking that. What I was saying.
I love gay people.
What
I'm
I was
sorry.
saying was,
I really do.
do you want to come out right now?
Let me wait till next segment.
Come out of the closet.
I think
No, what I'm gonna say is that snitching in this situation to me is different than snitching in the basketball bubble. Like you could save a life legit. Like I know COVID's a real thing too.
Yeah, but
So I'm
But
saying
the
removing
blue
removing-
code is real too, man.
I know,
and,
man.
And I,
I
get
know
that
it is.
though. I
I know
understand
that.
what their
Because-
But I'm talking
situation
about
is.
you know what I want to see from the blue code being better. That's what I want to see because I know because I got family members up in Brooklyn and up like that got the code.
Elaborate
They
on
got
that.
because they got the code too, but it's for betterment. It's to make sure that person gets home to their wife and kid, not to be a bad person, not to be a bad officer.
Well, that's
not
why-
that's not what the code to me. That's not what the code
No.
is.
That's why I try to because I can't do too much talking for people, with skin color. But that's why I try to remind people that, man, you got to remember all these things when you go into it because, dude, it's not that cop went and filled out an application and somebody gave that cop that job. That's who I hold accountable. Because it's like, and then the system in which what we train them to do, and what we accept as proper.
But what you read earlier was basically what you're saying
Yeah.
now. It's like the same guy that had all these offenses was then put on the board of, this is how we. Because even in the George Floyd situation, he was a training officer, the guy that, committed the crime. So if the training officer in that case, and then you have the officer one of the officers that went in there and shot up the house had all those complaints against him, and then he's sitting on the board. That's a lot of conflict of interest, bro.
For sure.
Two things could both be true.
And then you coming up as a younger coming up officer, it's like, what is this telling you to do?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That's why it sucks because you get brought into the situation, and I would hope sometimes you're bold enough to make a bigger difference. Like you're there for a change, and then you get in and you see what's wrong.
I'm sure a lot of
You
them
try.
think that, man. I bet there's millions of cops that see that bad thing happen, and it weighs heavily on their mind. I bet they go home and talk to their wife about it. I bet they say, "Baby,
Yeah,
I
bro.
saw something
That shit
so
happens
fucked
on a
up today.
regular job.
I saw something fucked up today. They made this girl take off a towel. She was in a bikini, whatever. Then they did some inappropriate shit. I had to just look the other way and keep searching the fucking car. I don't feel good about it. What should I do? I bet that happens
a lot.
all the fucking time because nobody's born just to fuck shit up, man.
No, but that's the code.
Very few
that's
people.
the code to live by. You could be proud of that as a sworn in officer of the law.
Well,
that's the code you
it
want
comes
to
down.
be.
It's just comes natural because they're serving side by side with people who are willing to die for each other, and it's hard. Like, what if it was somebody you saw a fellow officer do something fucked up, but that officer like 6 months ago saved your fucking life?
That's a big,
that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
That's a great way to say it. And I don't know. But if he didn't save my life,
right,
and he's out there busting people for no reason and molesting people during searches and shit.
What if he saved your best friend's life?
What did we say? I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Like no. And honestly,
this is reality.
And it's a brotherhood.
And the reality is, you're allowed to save someone's life, but you're also not allowed to like finger bang my wife either. You know?
Yeah, but see, it's weird because there's such.
Man, you saved my life. You're allowed to do that.
There's
Thanks,
such
Kyle.
a huge gray area in that respect, because being in the military. There were some sick fucks, dude, that I served with that I would not hang out with or, be affiliated with in any other way.
Without a doubt.
But because they were there,
and that's your brother,
side by side, and I know they would die for me.
Right.
Whether they saved my life or not, I know they would die for me. But it gives them a larger gray area, and it's like you just allow so much and so much and so much that it just grows and grows and grows. And now it's like, what's it take? You got to fucking, you got to kill a kid by accident. You got to before I fucking say something.
That's exactly my point.
Like, nobody knows where to draw the line. It's different. And it's
that makes a lot of sense, man. It goes back to what I said. Like, you could be in a relationship, an abusive relationship, but there's so much past and so much history that you're like, man, he loves me. He loves me. No, bitch, he hit you. Get the run for your life. Run for your fucking life. But you don't. But you don't. But it doesn't happen until you see so much happen. Like the Chauvin guy, his wife, she divorced him right on the fucking spot. See you later. So he, who knows what led up to that, but she left him at the drop of a dime. So I bet she knew that prior record shit, and she had her extra eye open on that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I believe him. I love him. I trust him because that's my job as a woman. If you don't trust, what the fuck? Yeah, but as soon as I see something, I'm out. Yeah. I'm out. I'm fucking gone, man. And as she should be. And it's not an easy,
write a book about it.
Yeah, it's not an easy. Look, it's the hardest job. We're not just saying that shit. It is the hardest job to do, based off the pay you make. You don't ever get thank yous. You do, but it's all fucking just. Here's $10 off at Chili's or whatever. Right. Whatever it is. So it is hard, man. But that doesn't mean that we can't be better and we can't fix the problem. So, and that's. Goes for every fucking thing that we don't have accountability on. And it's kind of scary when I said that, the irony in that. Like, I just thought about that for a second. I was like, holy shit, that's what we're looking at on the grand scheme of things. We're looking at accountability on so many levels of America. It's like, and then you think about morals and integrity and shit, and you go, well, where's that going? Okay, because once everything's gone and then you get down to these last few things and you're going, oh, what the fuck do we? All I got is my balls and my word, and I don't break on for nobody.
Hey, that's what
we'll be back. Welcome back, Lion Podcast. How's everybody feeling?
Chilling, dog. Chilling.
Stellar.
Yeah, feeling better now.
I gotta get my cut tomorrow. Birthday's on Thursday.
Happy birthday,
thanks,
my friend.
Pal. Thanks,
yeah.
pal.
How old are you gonna be? 30?
Yeah, dirty.
That's a big day. That's a big day.
So 30, 40, 50 now.
Yeah, we got the 30, 40, 50 club.
Yeah.
Tell me 40.
Well, I'm not 40 yet.
I might hit the Dion when
I'm about to bust my check. Yo, so what are you doing for your big 30, bro? That's a big day.
So what I wanted to do, I wanted to get the 2-gallon buckets, the Lowe's cement mix ones, buy a bunch of them shits, and then buy mini basketballs and play like beer pong with them shits.
Oh, that sounds fun.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And then have them splash.
That's not dope. That's straight dopamine.
So
that's off the charts. I like that idea.
Get that going, and then honestly, I just want good food, man. I just want to enjoy some good food in my system.
Yeah.
And get some
old fashions in there, man. Smoke some old fashions, dude.
Old fashioned, right? You know what?
You gotta do it big, dog.
I was gonna check it. I swear, I was gonna do beer. I was gonna just like chill, but you just threw a curveball out there. I'm gonna fucking get this PO2.
Yeah.
and get dirty. That's gonna be dirty.
Sit
with
back.
the peel.
Yeah, put some fuzzy
That's like
slippers
raw
on.
man.
Fillet that bitch.
Yeah,
Have a special day.
You ain't lying, boss.
a robe and some fuzzy slippers.
What's dope is I work on my birthday, and I'm not a big I need my birthday off type of person. There are people like that.
Yeah.
It's all good. More power to you.
Yeah.
I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday though. To rock with. So I'll fuck around with that. Yeah. I'll fuck around with that. So I'll enjoy that though.
Right on. Documents unsealed in Epstein case, one of which is a witness account of Bill Clinton being on the island, which we all knew that, right? Bill alleged he was never visited the island, but that,
You get over here. Yeah, come on. Come here,
You too. Bring your friend.
Take your retainer off.
I can't even laugh at that.
Yeah, you
Holy shit, that just gave me like yeah. Like I don't like when a joke's so good that I get a visual.
It's too
I'm
dark.
like, oh Jesus Christ, that was too dark.
Don't look
That
at
was
my
too
flight
dark.
That's that
records.
OG flavor, baby.
Yeah, that's how OGB. One of which is a witness account of Bill Clinton being on the island. So we all knew Bill was on the island. By the way, the fact that, this is not world news, number one right now, it should tell you how deep this goes. You know what I mean?
But it's growing. You
It's-
know that, right?
Yeah, but it's
No,
not world news.
listen, no, I agree. I'm just saying it's growing of the fact because I hear people that would never have this conversation with, and they're like, "Did you know?" I'm like, "Oh, you missed the last podcast."
right.
I was like, "Oh, you didn't listen to the
Right,
king."
but you don't see it on the mainstream.
No,
though.
I'm not saying that. I'm
Right.
saying it's growing because people
Yeah.
that I would never have the conversation with are like,
Right.
"Did you hear?" And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, I know what you're saying by that, but I'm saying though, we're
It should
not
be.
seeing
It
it
should
on
be
any.
the
Are you
first.
seeing it on any mainstream?
Can't, dog.
I haven't
you can't
either.
out the
It's kind of going
president.
away.
Well, it's not just the president, but it's all these other countries too that are implicated.
Yeah,
So
that's
world
the-
news
it's
too,
a lot
right?
of people.
It's not. It's not anywhere.
I heard the one log entry for Trump wasn't true.
Which one?
That he was listed on the flight log one time. I heard that wasn't true.
I'll double check into it. I don't know. I can't confirm that it wasn't or was. I'll just say
Probably not.
I don't know.
It's probably with Melania. Melania, during that time, rocking.
Well,
Victoria's Secret Circle.
I wouldn't leave.
Well, there was a helicopter that he got for Ghislaine, and he got her a helicopter license, and she did tell her friend it so people could fly without talking about it. Yeah,
Without the logs.
without the log. I mean, it goes on
Dang.
today's day.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
The other piece of information unsealed is that the FBI had the infamous Prince Andrew picture of him and Virginia Giuffre in their possession since 2011. The same picture Prince Andrew claimed was fake. The FBI had it in their possession since 2011.
Dog, did you ever see the bite?
Do you
of
know
Trump?
how crazy that is, though?
You ever saw the bite of Trump when he says that Andrew was there, and then they cut back to like a couple of years
Yeah, he
like
said,
that? He's like, I don't know.
I don't know. It is funny.
It's legit. Like, I don't know. You gotta ask Prince Andrew.
But that
was like never saw him.
Real talk though, that's why I stopped lying when I was young. When I was younger, and I woke up one day. Well, not only Tebow, but I realized I want to stop
Tebow
lying
helped
because,
you
dude,
stop lying.
if you lie, you can't keep up with your fucking
It's too
lies.
much work.
It's too much work.
Yeah,
Dog, if you tell the truth, you sleep like if like you're a baby.
Yeah.
Bro, the day I changed, not only was I peaceful and feeling good, but bad shit stopped happening to me.
It really does.
Instantly.
It changed your whole
Bro,
I believe
instantly.
it.
And not only that, but I wouldn't have probably noticed that bad shit stopped happening to me. But it was that good shit started happening to
Yeah.
me. So my luck didn't just go from rainy weather shit. It went to like positive sunshine, daylight, everything. And I was forced to step back and go, what the fuck happened here? And I was just like, oh, I'm not full of shit anymore.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't gotta keep up.
I think I'm getting rewarded. I mean, you start listening to life and believe in life, man. And look, you could call me full of shit or whatever, but if anybody knows me, I don't lie anymore. And fucking, I as brutal as the truth is, I will tell you. And I might go like this: if you ask me some shit that you might not want the answer
No,
to,
don't ask someone
I might say, "Hey, you sure you want the answer?"
Yeah.
And then if you still want it, I'll give you the
Full
honest.
disclosure type
Right,
shit.
right. You know, because I might have to tell you look ugly in that outfit or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Them shoes is trash.
If you want the honest truth, that's not your style. You
Don't
should go
ask
like
him-
this.
Don't ask Mr. Totes.
Don't ask the dokes, So if they had this information, the FBI had the picture with Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre, Why was nothing done about it till now?
Build the case.
No,
I'm giving him the benefit of that.
Right.
Build the case.
Right.
You don't throw out a percentage of it.
It's a hell of a lot of benefit of the doubt.
but I think it was really one of those situations. As long as Epstein kept his nose clean, he could have kept doing what he was doing. But he got sloppy, and when he got sloppy, that's when they had to reel him in. And
That's what I think too.
Once you reel a fish in, you can't. You bring in everything.
Once you reel the fish in, you gotta cut the cameras.
Right? I think that's accurate as fuck.
You heard?
What?
Once you reel the fish in, you gotta cut the cameras. So people fall asleep.
What is wrong?
So
Fuck out.
yeah, the FBI had this allegation against Prince Andrew for 9 years while he's claiming the picture's fake. It's fucking doctored. So, but they also had the same picture in their possession that Prince Andrew was claiming was fake. That just blows my fucking mind. So since 2014, the FBI has been in contact with many of Epstein's victims, right? But nothing's been done until he comes up dead. And then all this attention is brought onto it. It's almost like they were like, hey, we're protecting you because remember, let's rewind even further.
What do you mean we're protecting you?
The FBI is protecting
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Epstein.
I just want to get...
Rewind back to the first, when they cut a deal, the attorney general cut him a deal, but then the fucking, before that, they were bailing him out when those ladies, the sisters that their mom went and told on him, he fucked both the sisters, and they told on him, and they didn't do nothing. Remember when she went to the FBI and she goes, hey, my daughter's got raped. And they basically said, we'll call you back. And they never called her back. So ever since then, that was back in the 90s, dude. That was back in the fucking 90s. So there was another case like in mid-2000s or something like that, where that's when he got out of the deal. It might have been 2009 or some shit like that. I don't remember. But he got out of the deal. That's when he got the sweetheart deal. Then, now you find out all this stuff, and they had the picture since 2011 of him and Virginia Giuffre.
Yeah, that goes building the cases out the window.
That just shows you that there was a full force field, FBI force field around Epstein.
But
they were protecting him the whole time.
I mean, do you? It's hard to say because he was a billionaire too. Like, do you think everybody that dealt with him was dealing with him on that level?
Well, that's why. That's why when you said the thing.
Because if you making $1 billion and your whole business concept is like child trafficking, I think that would be too much. So what else was he? I'm thinking he have to have some other businesses going on.
Nah, he would just be the plug.
Buddy. But I know this sounds gross. It's kids, but these guys are getting off.
I'm like,
and when you're doing that shit, look, man, it's a business that works. He sold everybody on the fact that I could get you young girls, dude. That's what I'm saying. And you're an old miserable man.
It's legit the plug. That's all it is. It's a plug.
As gross and devil as it is, dude, it worked.
Because I'm thinking like, bro, so if you were dealing with him on just
that merit of like, if you knew him, that's what you were doing. You're trying to say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So like, that's what I'm saying. Because
like if you're strictly going to Best Buy, you're only getting TVs. You're not getting other shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Because he's a billionaire, he's moving money around between different countries. Because I guess, oh my god,
nothing says shit is upside down more than the FBI has explained it to do.
You think that it was like he was like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, He was this loose cannon that everybody knew would be trouble, and they let him go for so long, and then they took him. They took him out themselves.
I can see that to a percentage.
That's why he tried to kill himself the first time, because he knew he was dead.
I would see that to a certain percentage, but why? Why would you allow it to happen so long? Because he already got you.
Was he an informant or something? Maybe
because
was he working
was
for him?
The supplier. Because if you kill him, there's no more.
But what was he doing for the FBI?
That's my argument. That's my argument for Mike's sake, because he's saying that he was getting too wild. I said, why would you get rid of him?
How was he?
I think
he went too far. He got too open with it.
I think we highly underestimate.
Too dangerous. Clemmy, too much of a liability.
Yeah, because Clemmy thinks like, oh, the information is so important. No, it's really not, because when you have so much power, when you're sitting in a position where you just you could buy anybody.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't really matter, and not so much that, but you've already been buying everybody. The checks and balances are all in place, and everything's going your way.
You're feeling pretty fucking untouchable,
right? So when
I
think
agree with
I
that.
think right now, Ghislaine, I think it's not that she's gonna open up all the information. I think they're gonna either let her open up so much information, or say, hey, you can't say nothing about this guy, or you die. You know what I mean? I mean, these are conversations that are probably going down.
I would think if it's me and I'm her, and they're and because at this point they're allowing her to exist. If you think about it,
Right?
They have a plan.
I'm thinking in my
By the
head.
way, she passed 30 days.
Yeah,
I got the over on that shit, Hector.
But Hector did say she wasn't gonna pass. But
bet.
if she in that state, I'm thinking there's certain people that she's just not gonna say their names.
Yeah, I don't think it's up to her what we hear, what she has to say or not. It's
No,
up to
I don't
think so?
No,
That's what I think.
It's up to who's taking that statement that's going to release it to us.
Yeah.
And it's like they're probably going to roll in there and say, "Hey, you can say this name, and this name, but these are off limits."
I never thought about it like that.
That's
That's
the
exactly
deal.
what's going to happen.
I didn't think about it like that
Because
either.
that's the person that works for the person. And he goes down. He says, "Well, okay, bitch, I got you. You're gonna die on the 27th, and that's just the way it is."
Who did you like the least?
yeah, exactly.
And then you got to think about it.
That's how they're going to make it go away. They're going to give us something, a little bit,
And they got to go give
and
us.
they're going to protect the rest.
And
They're
they
gonna
gonna
act
get-
like heroes
Yeah.
and say, "Look, we saved you," and they're gonna protect the rest.
And they got to give you a couple hot takes.
I'm gonna be mad
Yeah.
as fuck if
Right,
they get like option Y. Like if they get the motherfucker that like
Yeah, what if
that
it
like
was
check
like
it.
option Y?
If they get the motherfucker that like runs Amazon in like Missouri or some shit,
Costco manager.
come on, dog. She didn't have to give us that name. Like, give me the A list. Like, I want to be able, like, when I read it and I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, I check my phone. I'm like, all right, what happened in the world? I don't want to see fucking, I don't know, Missouri man known for Epstein. I want to see, like, a head.
Yeah, I don't
And
want to
I'll be
see
like,
Alderman Johnson
oh,
that I don't know who the fuck that is.
Like, I want to be able to be like, I don't know. I'm gonna throw out a name. I'm gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't know Tom Hanks was into that type of shit. Like that, I would be like appalled.
Yeah.
But,
Dun dun.
but if I get somebody
That'd
from
be
there,
funny if they release that and it's not even true. And that'd be the part that they'd be like, "It's Tom Hanks," and he's like, "Bitch, I'm not even a pedophile." He's like, "Got you, motherfucker."
like, I
That's how we
had
run,
corona. I had a corona the whole time.
Status quo.
Fuck.
I mean,
This is crazy though.
this is America
Where's it
right
gonna
now.
go? Where's it gonna go?
Because the
It's
sad
like a
part
shitty
about it-
Harry Potter book.
Some think we're already in the fucking Matrix right now.
Just when you think.
All right, we got to get on. Quick topics. The NFL released its top 100 players. Patrick Mahomes was rated 4th behind Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Donald. Like it or not? Oh,
I like it. He wasn't the MVP. So how are you the top 100?
but he's not top 4 though. I mean, you don't think he could get in there at 2 or 3?
Who do they have?
They got
Aaron Donald?
yeah, Russell Wilson and Aaron Donald ahead of him.
I'm okay with that.
They got more time in.
I kind of am too, actually.
I'm okay with the I'm agree with Mike. The time put in from Aaron Donald, the veteran, and then the MVP in front. Yep. I like.
Clemmy, what's up? Like it or not?
Like it a lot.
So you think he's not top 4 either?
I'm not saying he. That's the thing about it. You can't say he's. Looking at the talent right now, that's where he should be rated. Because you got Aaron Donald who can't be blocked. You got You got
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, who he's the best quarterback in the league outside of the 2 quarterbacks on the list with him right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
As far as like current day, I'm not saying Tom Brady. You got to get.
You put him at 5?
Who?
Mahomes. Where does he go on that list?
You got to go 4.
Four?
I think he's number 4.
Okay. Mike, like it or not?
I like it. I agree for all the above reasons.
Yeah. Well, you guys make it not fun for me, so I'm going to switch it up. I'll be devil's advocate because I think, honestly, you can make an argument either way. You could say definitely, and I would actually agree with you. I'd say I like it because of obvious reasons of what you just said. But you could also not like it because you could make the argument that the dude sat his first season, comes right in and gets an MVP season, then comes back and gets a fucking Super Bowl right after that. And even though he's loaded, he had several pieces of his offense injured all year. He was in and out. Hell, he had to sit out for a little bit. His defense ain't that fucking great. So when you weigh all that, you could make an argument.
The scandals.
Yeah, you can make an argument that I wouldn't say he might not be number one right now, but hell, he did beat Lamar both times. He played him.
But he did. But at the same time, bro, Lamar is
during the regular season. He beat him?
But you gotta look. Yeah. You can't look at the team. You gotta look at the player,
which was amazing.
I'm saying, and we're talking about individual statistics.
Yeah,
and it was times where
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just saying I can make a case.
Remember, I brought up he only threw like 26 touchdowns. That's not a number two type of.
Yeah, but he did beat Lamar Jackson 2 times in the.
He didn't beat He beat the Ravens. He didn't beat Lamar.
Oh, so Michael Jordan don't have those 6 titles anymore.
No, I'm saying he didn't beat him 1-on-1. I'm saying.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And 26 touchdowns.
But he beat him at the most important position in any sport.
Nah, he got
in any team sport.
Oh look, rings matter now. Rings matter now, Rings matter now.
And they do. But
no, remember we thought so.
Rings matter.
We got a Super Bowl.
You got a Super Bowl, so he should be number one. Yeah.
Changes.
Fuck you.
What you got?
All right. Colin Cowherd said the bubble is the best chance for the Rockets to win the championship. Lakers have no chance, like it or not. Oh,
is LeBron James still playing?
Yes, it's still.
Okay, so then no.
All right, well then go just eliminate that second part. Do you think that this is the Rockets' best chance to win the championship?
Yeah, just because James Harden can go off, and if somebody gets lazy, he drops 40 drop 40. You hear me? He could drop 40 in a game if he wanted to. If he averages to 30, 35.
Yeah.
So
okay, so you like it or you don't like it?
No, I don't like it. No,
okay,
no. LeBron James is still here.
I don't like it because you got LeBron James and you got Anthony Davis size.
LeBron James.
So I just don't think. But on the flip side of that, the Rockets can turn you over fast, bro.
Oh yeah.
And they and the rate they hit in their 3-pointers, because they turn the ball over so much, they don't have to hit nothing but 22. And you got Russell Wilson and
Westbrook.
Yeah.
All these Russells, but
all these all these fucking Russells.
I can't stand
Russels, Truffles.
I love Russels.
Shuffle.
I'm a typical. I blame them. But anyways,
he just wanted to say uffles.
He's throwing fingers.
But yeah, so with that being said,
I love you, mother uffles.
What you got, Mike?
I don't like it just because of the last part of the statement. You know, got no chance.
Got no chance.
No chance.
Rockets are playing well now, but
I know.
Yeah,
I don't like it. Also, for two. Well, I'll just address both of them. The Rockets thing. I do like that part because I do think it's their best chance to win because of the no crowd element. Yeah. I think Russell Wilson gets frazzled when people yell at him on the sideline.
Westbrook?
I mean, Russell Westbrook.
Russell's muscles.
When he gets Russell's muscles. I think he gets frazzled when he hears people, because he always gets in bickering matches with people on the sideline. He always does.
And I kind of agree with that, but I don't agree with that. I just think when the crowd's involved, he's up here. And some people can't come down.
He's up there right now. Did you watch him play the other night?
But it's easier for him.
He looks better.
But it's easier for him to contain it when you got 30,000 people.
You're
going to
Russell
because it'd be
Westbrook
so buzz.
Might be the most athletic motherfucker we've ever seen touch a basketball. So with that being said, he could be up here any fucking time he wants. Anytime that ball hits, you heard him say, "My basketball is my only friend." He said that shit. He don't give a shit about nobody, dude. He wants the basketball. So I think it helps him come playoff time to not get crate without the crowd, man. I think so too. And he's just going to be focused in. And that actually goes back to, you remember a few, I don't know how many episodes it was ago, but I said that the no crowd thing is going to help these guys focused, and then the they don't travel now. So there's no more jet lag and shit like that. So you might be looking at a better product once they settle into this thing. And I really said, and I said teams like Dallas Mavericks, who Luka just had 34, 20, and 12.
Luka's
by the way,
man.
Teams like that, I predicted that. I said people like that are going to have better games because they're going to feel like they're in practice and there's no crowd there.
Sleepers are rising.
Right, and Steph Curry hit 77 threes in a row in one practice before, dude. Think about that. I can't even make 70. I can't even put 77 dishes in the dishwasher without breaking one.
But the cast that's going to, that's true.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
But the cast that's going to excel in this, and I think the cast that's going to excel in this bubble theory are the gym rats. Because guys that love the gym, that's always in the gym shooting, it's the same thing right now. It's like quiet. You can just ball.
Right. That's true, man. So, man, I like the Rockets thing. I don't like the LeBron thing because, dude, people are highly underestimating that you don't need a third player to win a title when you have LeBron and AD. LeBron is 2 players. AD is 2 players. You have your third and fourth player right there.
You don't need no.
Those
dudes are.
They
like,
are
people
monsters.
are not watching these guys.
They must
play
not
right
be
now.
watching.
They are scary.
They are fucking scary.
Like
AD
is playing like point guard at 7 foot. Freaking one.
Pull up threes off the dribble.
It's
unbelievable. He's 7 foot pulling up for threes off the dribble and shit and knocking them down. You're like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's mind blowing.
Yeah, the whole NBA is a great element, but no, I don't like that. And LeBron will win the fucking title. NFL players opting out for the 2020 season, like it or not. I
like it, man. If you want to be safe, be safe. That's your obligation. That's your right. What I don't like, hot topic, is Odell Beckham being upset about it because he's like, oh, the NFL wants their money and they just want to get paid, but you're gonna play. You're gonna no, but wait, but you're gonna play, right? Okay, so what the fuck? Everybody's winning. If you're gonna show up, and then you have the, I know the now what I disagree with is the option of how much you're gonna get paid. It's saying high risk individuals could opt out and receive $350 stipulated. Whereas those less at risk would receive $150,000. Yeah. Players also have the ability to opt out later in the season in the event that a family member becomes sick. So it still gives you an option to bow out and still do it. But I'm really okay with it because if you don't want to play, you don't want to risk it. Good for you, man.
Yeah. What do you think, Clemmy?
I think it's because they are people, so they have the right to, at the end of the day to make that choice. So I like it because you get that person. Now, if they don't play, then the stipend should be.
Motherfucker, who are you?
What you mean?
Man, this is my motherfucking football you talking about right now.
You better get your COVID ass helmet on.
You know how the cops got the blue code, bitch? This is NFL code, dog.
But the reason why I say that,
look, Brady, man, this is my only chance. This is my only fucking chance.
Yeah, but if Odell Beckham don't play, you're gonna worry about your defense.
Look at baseball, bro. These dudes can't stay out of the. Like baseball teams shutting down.
Well, they're traveling and stuff. They need the NFL needs to do the bubble.
Yeah.
Well, I thought
you're right, Mike. Just do it in the fucking Cowboys.
Not so much one bubble. Maybe they do like 4 bubbles and they put.
That's traveling still though.
No, but what I'm saying is,
planes.
You play your whole season in that bubble. And then at the end of that season,
I see what you're saying.
Because you have so many teams.
Yeah, because you got 4 divisions.
You got 4 divisions. You have 4 bubbles.
I kind of would like it like everybody stacks the fuck up and plays though too.
But then like
scrimmage football,
when it
bro,
comes to playoff time, then the testing
shit
becomes more intense.
Yeah.
Now that you got the playoff bubble.
Yeah. Because I like just mashing shit up. If it's a time where shit's not the same anyway, that's the time to switch shit up.
Fantasy football.
Yeah, man, just to fucking roll the dice.
People have fantasy football on practice.
Yo, shout out to Adam Silver because the NBA product is a fucking fabulous product.
They're trying.
It's trying, but they're doing
the best.
I thought it was going to look like
it's at its best for what it's worth. You're giving someone something to start with the ground up, and he's building.
It's way better than the best. It's better than a regular product. Yeah. I thought it was going to look like a high school game. When I envisioned it, I was like, this is going to be the worst thing ever. I might stop watching basketball. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm going to watch. These guys better be good.
And the real talk is because it's like no crowd noise. You seeing it like it at its rawest form. So even us watching it, you don't realize how much people screaming and hollering take you from watching it. Like, because the camera has to just show the product. It's not like away from it. It has to be like right up on
I'm thinking
it.
about
Ain't no fucking kiss cam.
I'm thinking about trademark. I want to trademark having a paid, like, and this is an example. Relax when I say it. Like a OnlyFans or like a
That's cute.
like a fucking
You gonna be on OnlyFans?
Patreon.
Ooh.
Nah, check it, like a Patreon, bro. Imagine, would you pay $5 a month to get exclusive content to hear when they curse and everything and nothing's bleeped out? So like they host it on like HBO or some
Yeah, I
shit.
wanted to do
Oh,
that on
yeah.
this. I wanted to commentate for some of these games and just do it
No,
on here.
no, not us comment. When you're watching it on ESPN,
We'll get sued, though.
ESPN, check it. ESPN broadcast. They make a deal with HBO, Cinemax, whatever cursing and
yeah.
our shit is allowed.
Yeah.
And you pay $5 a month like a subscription, and they don't have to bleep nothing. They're like, yo,
That's cool.
watch the fucking pick. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit would be sick, bro.
So you get
You feel the intensity. It's not like every because you hear
Yeah,
it
but
now.
that should be like
You hear
watching
everything,
myself
yeah.
commentate.
Nah, but you would. I don't know. Me personally, I would pay for it. I'd be all in. I'd be like,
It'd be
oh
like
shit.
Coach talk at practice.
Yeah,
That's
man.
why I wanted to do it, because I know I could fucking make money doing that shit. Because you could make comedy
But
out
it's
of the
copyrighted
game. There's so
information.
much funny shit that happens in the game. People's names that sound profanity or something. Like, you know, anything. There's so much funny shit that happens in the games, you know. Somebody gets their nuts rubbed on their forehead. You're like, ah, you know.
How you feel, Mike?
Yeah.
Like it or not.
So back on the fucking thing. NFL players opting out for the 2020 season. Like it or not, Mike?
I think it's a fair deal. The money they're being offered, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
if they massive salaries, it's kind of close to what we would get on unemployment, you know.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
That is true, Mike. That'll be if they have a big budget.
So it says, as of Tuesday morning, 45 NFL players have already opted out of the 2020 season. No team has more players opted out than the Patriots.
See, man, fuck them. All right, I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. You know why?
Stupid fuck.
The bitches. Listen. I gotta speak. I gotta say something right now.
You know, Bill Belichick is having a.
No, I
Bill
don't like
Belichick is
it.
like, yo, you don't need to get hurt. Don't.
Nah.
Didn't you just have a kid? Do you really want to risk it?
Yeah.
Fuck this
Dude,
season.
dude.
You know, COVID will hurt
I've
you.
never felt
This
more.
won't count anyway.
You know how
An asterisk.
I cringe when people say, you know, oh, shut up and dribble and all that shit. Well, I've never felt more like, bitch, y'all go
Shut up
into a
and
bar.
snap.
You better
Shut up and
play some
snap.
fucking football, motherfuckers. You
good.
get paid too fucking well, and on all those other seasons, we need you. We need you right
When
now.
he says we America, he means Tampa.
We need
Tampa
you.
needs it.
And that just heightens it right there. Then you add to this that I got the only chance. Tom Brady just
I
turned.
was just
By
gonna
the
say
way,
that.
by the way, happy birthday, Tom Brady.
Happy
I love
birthday,
him.
Brady.
It's 43.
Yeah, Corey's like, I'm not gonna fucking waste Tom Brady's nice tan and not be able to see it on live TV. He's been in Boston, white as powder.
Listen, he's
and
like,
now-
listen.
Happy
Listen.
birthday.
That's
This is
creepy.
Tom
That's
Brady.
creepy. All right, so listen. I really, he's 43 fucking years old. He's gonna die like soon.
Bro,
I
Fuck out that
gotta get this Super Bowl in.
trying to get roses out and shit.
I gotta get this season in, man. He's gotta show up, man.
The NFL messed up, man, because the way they handled it. They haven't laid out their game plan of how they're going to conduct the season.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they offered this choice before even laying it out. Like, are they going to have a bubble or not? I mean, if they would have it like the NBA's doing, you have a lot less people opting out.
It's true. They're probably looking at baseball right now, going, "Holy shit,
Yeah.
That could be us.
we're fucked. This is us.
Yeah.
This is gonna be us."
Because it's like I was saying to Mike before the show, if it's guys travel before the season, no one has COVID, and then during the season, as you travel places, people are mysteriously getting COVID. That
You
means
just high chances.
yeah, you know what I mean.
Stepping out.
I mean, guys are not being smart. I mean, and it's not.
A lot of people aren't being smart.
And
I
not-
see it
yeah.
every fucking day.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, y'all dumb as fuck, man. Y'all getting too close, too comfortable. They rubbing on each other, loving. You go to these bars and shit, dude. I don't even want to talk because I get people in a bad mood. I don't even want to get.
What you got? What you
What
got?
else you got?
All right, I lost it. Orlando Magic's Jonathan Isaac was the only player on his team who stood for the anthem. Now he's getting a hard time after he tore his ACL during the game on Sunday. Like it or not,
Like what he did, yes, because he did his American right, and he has the option to stand or to kneel. Therefore, if he felt that way, I'm behind it, and I like it.
Okay, Clemmy, like it or not?
I like it because he exercised his option to do what he felt was right in that moment.
For the same reason, though.
For
Okay.
the same reason. You know.
Like it or not, Mike?
Well, I mean, say your question again, because at the
Well,
end there you said they were
They
giving
like-
him a hard
yeah,
time.
they
No,
don't- yeah.
no, I don't think. No, I don't like
okay.
it because
Yeah.
Yeah, not to bullshit, not to knock his
I
injury.
think it's an abomination that he even has to explain why you're standing for the national anthem. Why? Why do you got to explain it?
I do too.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I didn't even think about it like that. You're right. Why are you standing? What?
What?
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There needs to be a reason?
Think about that, dude.
Because in that
that's
moment,
crazy
if
when you
you-
think about it. Like
2020, you got to explain yourself why you're standing.
If you
Yeah.
wanna-
Hey, is that for gay rights or is that for,
Yeah.
what are you doing up there?
That's kind of some like
Everybody-
Nazi
you
got your
shit.
hand
It's
on
like,
your-
oh, you're standing, fucking racist.
When before you weren't,
Even
when
though he's
you
black, yeah, he's a racist.
when before you weren't standing, they were going, "Hey, they're just exercising their right." Well, yeah, so is he.
Yeah, everybody-
He's fucking
That's
standing.
what I'm saying. That's what's scary.
What's his
Yeah.
name that he got injured?
Jonathan Isaac. Yeah, by
should-
the way, I love.
I'm buying his jersey, man. I'm
I
fucking
love
the
Jonathan.
number one
Isaac.
fan now.
I wish you a speedy recovery. Next time, just go half mass. Just plank. Like take half kneel. Be like, what are you doing?
I know what you
I'm
meant.
doing an Arnold Palmer, baby, 50-50. I ain't kneeling, but I ain't standing.
Yeah.
What's up?
No, but it was stupid that they asked him. It's like, yo, you obviously he's probably. What if the reason he didn't kneel is because he's fucking uncomfortable as fuck and he's scared? What if that's it? What if he was getting death threats and they said, if you fucking kneel, we're gonna fucking come kill you? Yo, what if
wasn't.
you don't know? There's a million reasons
Yeah.
of why you don't ask him after the game. Why? Did you exercise for the same amount of million reasons? You don't do it. You just don't.
He
You
should've-
know, like, are you fucking serious? Get the fuck out of my
Nah,
face.
he should have
That's
done
it.
something awesome. He should have been like, honestly,
He did.
I didn't like. No, he should have been like, honestly, I don't like how they ended The Sopranos. Like something so crazy. Like, yeah, nah, Ozark, how they did that shit. I wasn't a fan.
You right.
I'm not
but-
kneeling.
Walter White, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like any criticism he's getting. Those
So
guys
stupid.
are bitches.
Because for
I even
you-
saw
yeah.
one that put one up. I know you guys meant the same thing too.
Yeah.
You guys just said that you were. Yeah, I know,
Correct. Yeah, but for the injury,
But-
that's fucked up. That's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
When I saw him stand, saw it on social media. The next day, I saw somebody get hurt. I was like, yo, is that the fucking guy?
Yeah,
Like, there's no fucking way.
shit.
yo, and I can't explain that except for
It was a meniscus tear.
it's a
Did you see
testament
it?
to everybody that's not supposed to judge,
Yeah.
and everybody failed that fucking test.
Oh yeah.
That's the way I see that.
Oh yeah.
So you know,
Yeah, because in
you
that
say,
moment,
and the same people say, "Hey, God works in mysterious ways." Well, then why ain't you paying attention? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just let it go, man. And whatever you wish that man well, man. You say, "Damn, that's terrible,
yeah,
dude."
that's terrible. I felt
That's
bad
terrible.
for him. Like,
And,
I didn't.
and
'cause I
any
didn't-
other day, nobody wants anybody to get hurt. So why is it different?
Because the thing about it, Corey, I hadn't even seen the headlines that he was standing for this. Now I ain't see none of that. All I seen was the guy get hurt, and I'm like, that looked like the guy from the Magic. So
There was
Hey,
dude on the Magic sites making fun of it, dude. And then there was like, then they were backtracking, be like, "Oh no, well no, I wasn't, but you know, we gonna have fun anyway." And I was like, "Yeah, fuck you, man."
Hey,
That
has he hit
it's
schools
shit like
yet?
that that just makes me go, "Fuck it."
Has Neely hit schools yet?
Yes.
You hear any
I
reports?
was just at a graduation where they all took a fucking knee.
So do you think it's gonna
Just
become?
there was about 3/4 of them did, dude. It was a moment, like, and not in a moment where it was like I was gonna cry or not. Like, although homie's mom was crying like a motherfucker, but not. And I don't think she was crying. I don't know how it was. But anyway, my moment, how I experienced it, because I can't talk for anybody else. I don't know how they experienced it, but for me, I was like, whoa. Because you look across the field, right? Because this was after COVID and stuff. So the graduation, they had to space these dudes out and stuff. So everybody was well spaced apart. And you could just see the confusion across the field. And you could see some kids that were conflicted. They were like, oh, I stand. Some people had their fist up. Some sat down. They didn't stand at all. And some took a knee
right.
in their gowns, in their cap and gowns. And I just sat back the whole time and I was watched the whole field because I was up in the high rise and I was like, Wow, dude. And it was for one moment in my life, I didn't even have a thought because the moment was so powerful.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a fucking thought in my head. I was just like, time froze. Yeah. And the song presented itself. And the moment ended and I was still stuck. Just like not knowing any thought or emotion or anything. I just stuck. And that's what we're facing today in this nation. And it's crazy, man. So
the dilemma is how to fix America without destroying America.
Right. I think we're on the right track, man. I think it starts with love, man. I think you have to fucking have compassion for people and empathy for people that you don't even deal with.
Yeah, but there's people on both sides that are fucking it up.
Yeah,
right.
And the thing about it, for those young kids, you got to think about those young kids grew up in a digital society, so they seen a lot of images that, like my generation, we maybe felt it, but they seen it. So then you got a lot of those people, they're gonna until they see justice for real and real reform, this is what we're gonna see. Because they're just that resolved about it.
Yeah, and fucking kids are woke as fuck. I do have, and they're
kids.
studying. It's like the economy stuff we talked about today. Kids know that shit more than adults do.
They really do.
They're woking us. They're like, yo, what the fuck are y'all letting go on here? What the fuck are you doing? You're letting them rob us and just knowingly rob us? What the fuck are you doing?
You got to think about the NBA too. The NBA and the most guys that play in the NBA are African Americans. So a lot of those guys are probably thinking about their sons if they have sons.
Right.
So it's a hard thing, but I think it's better than. I think they're right. I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you 100%, man. I'm just tired because this show's going on forever. We ran long on everything. What we breaking a record or no? No. All right. Anybody got anything else to say before we get the fuck out of here?
Leo gang, stay safe, bruh.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, try to find somebody else to love, bro.
Yeah, I like that message though. It's a powerful message. You should try to find somebody to love, or at least understand, dude. There's a lot of people. On that note, real quick, there's a lot of people out there right now that are struggling, and there's a lot that are about to struggle, and there's a lot that are, there's not a lot doing good. So now more than ever, it's not some bullshit. We need to restore the love and just support each other, man. It doesn't have to be mushy and fake. Like, just be genuine and just do something, man. Pull off the road, help somebody fix a tire or whatever. Do whatever you can to fucking keep it moving in a positive direction. But it will change you if you break that wall down and you go out there and you do that. It's uncomfortable. We're all in our comfort zone. But if you break that wall down and you go do something nice, I promise you right now, just like I would if you do yoga.
Yeah.
I promise you will feel great no matter what. And then you'll think about what I said. Mike, you got anything to say before we get out of here, man?
Everybody stop lying.
Everybody stop. Yeah, no shit, man. Let's get our morals back, man. Let's get our morals back. Let's fucking start Tebow. Let's all tap the Tebow head for that. Yeah, Mike's right about that shit, man.
Right.
Yo, we love y'all for fucking with us. Straight up, if you've been listening and you're still listening right now, we fucking love you. And obviously you're fucking with us, so we really, really see you. We can't wait to see y'all and party with y'all and do all this shit. So, yeah, man. We're going to get out on that note. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Thank y'all for... hero of the day real quick. Robert Wright. We're going to shout out Robert Wright.
Robert Wright.
He's the Yoda trying to show everybody what's going on with the economy and how the corporate welfare and all that shit's taking over. So
where can they find that?
He's got books out and
Google
everything.
it,
Now, what were we watching?
Netflix.
He's got 2 shows on Netflix right now. He's got one called Saving Capitalism and he's got one called Inequality for All. His name is Robert Reich. I call him Robert Righteousness. The motherfucker's great. I fucking love him. He's like fucking 1 foot tall, but he's fucking all awesomeness. So that's the show. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you can't be nice, keep it moving then.
Be a part of the Pride on the People's Network. Please subscribe.